Hello, and welcome to your favorite YouTube channel, Be the True Rich. My name is Michael. If this is your first time, please like, share, subscribe, and also follow us on Instagram at Be the True Rich and on Twitter at Be the True Rich. Thank you. Today, we're going to have the first episode on the series, The Gospel of the True Rich. Like I said in my last video, the reason I chose the word gospel is for us to learn about the good news of being rich. Yes, we need to learn the good news from the rich. What a rich person would tell you, what a rich person would advise you, what a rich person will counsel you on. So that is what we're going to be treating. And today, for the first episode, we're going to be treating the rich don't work for money. The rich make money work for them. The rich don't work for money. The rich make money work for them. I know in your mind you're thinking, is there anybody on earth that does not work for money? At the end of the day, they'll say, last, I'm money different. Everything is surrounded by money. You need money to eat, you need money to do certain things in your life, you need money to buy things. Yes, we're not disputing that. I am not disputing that. It is very essential. Money is very essential in our everyday lives. But the rich don't work for money. The rich make money work for them. First off, let's look at why we need money in our everyday lives. What controls us getting a job? Why do we feel we need a job to succeed? Why do we feel we need money in our everyday lives? It is simply tied to our emotions. Yes, our emotions control our minds in what we think we need. And the two major emotions that control the poor are fear and greed. Fear of the unknown. Fear that you may lose your job. Fear that you may not be able to feed yourself. Fear that you can't pay your children's school fees. Fear that without money, you can't pay your rent, you can't pay your bills. So you wake up every day, even though you don't like the job, even though it doesn't make sense to you while you're working, but you wake up every day and trade your time for money. You wake up as early as impossible, get home as late as impossible. Some people, it is midnight to midnight. And the minute you sit them down and ask them, why are you working so hard on a job? Why are you always leaving? And why are you always complaining on this same job, but you're not leaving the job? The fear begins to speak. You begin to hear, if I lose my job, how am I going to pay my mortgage? How am I going to feed? How am I going to eat? How am I going to sleep? How am I going to do this? The children's fees are due. The rent is due. You keep having a million reasons why you need to continue slaving yourself on that job.
Get the best deals on all items on spree.africa. Shop now.
And not confronting the fear with asking the question, will this really solve the problem? Because the truth is, a job, like Robert Kiyosaki calls it, just over broke. A job is only a temporal measure, a temporal solution to a permanent problem. The problem remains. And we've so observed it. Look around you. The more money you make, it's almost like the poorer you are. And the more afraid you are. I know of people who are more afraid now that they have money, they've bought their dream house, they've bought their dream car. They are so afraid now. In fact, in their offices, if they're invited to the HR department, they begin to cry. Even without knowing why they're invited there. They feel they're just going to get a sack letter. And they are scared of losing the house, the car, and everything. Because the truth is, when you work for money, the minute that money stops coming in, everything in your life stops automatically. Everything stops. You can't repair your car anymore. You can't pay the children's school fees. You can't do what you need to do. So the question you should ask yourself, then why are you working for money? As unreal as money is, you still sell your time for money. It's 50 years down the line. You're still doing the same thing. Like I mentioned in my other video, some people cry when it comes to retirement. When it is time for them to retire, they begin to wail. They begin to scream. And some of them even beg for extra years and call it overtime. And they hide under, I love my job. This is what I love doing. But deep within, they know that they are in trouble. And their life is on its way to becoming shambles. Because their standard of living is about to drop from up here to down here. If they do not have that salary coming in every month, that paycheck, they are nothing. In fact, they lose respect in every organization they find themselves. In church, they lose respect. In their clubs, they lose respect because they cannot afford it anymore. Their faith and their fervent prayers comes from the fact that they know they have a paycheck. So if they are invited to the HR office, you'll see some, they just feel gloomy. So why are they so afraid? What is keeping them bound to fear? It's because they listen to that emotion called fear. And they hold on to it. So the richer they become, the poorer they actually become. It is easier to drop from here to here than dropping from up here to down this place. So now you get it. Fear keeps them waking up every morning, doing the things they hate doing. 95% of people I know hate their jobs. They hate it. They hate going to that office every day. They hate to have to wake up at odd hours to go to that job. But still they do it. And the reason behind it is fear. Now, secondly, let's talk about greed. Or another word, desire. Yeah. Because we're trained from a very young age to chase candy once we get money in our pockets. So as a kid, once a visitor visits the house and gives you 10 naira, 20 naira, the next thing that comes to your mind is what your parents do for you. Buy sweets or biscuits for you, or candy for you. And every time you have spare cash, you always do that as a kid. Then you grow up with that needy attitude, that greed, that desire to equip yourself and arm yourself with liabilities. Assets put money in your pocket, liabilities take money from your pocket. So you have a desire to change your phone. So you're working so hard to get a promotion so that you can change your phone to the latest phone. You're working so hard to get a promotion so that you can change your apartment and move into a bigger apartment that you don't even need at that time. Because most of the things we look for or we pray for are wants. Most of them are wants, not needs. Not needs. So the greed, the desire. That is why once it's paycheck week, you already have analyzed a mental budget in your mind on how you will spend that money. And usually, the paycheck sometimes does not even see the first day of the next month if you're paid on the last week of the month anyways. You would have amassed so much liabilities at the end of your 50-year or 20-year tenure working. Fear gets you to start. Fear gets you to, go to school, keep going to school, keep learning so that you can keep getting promotions and keep getting paid so that you can afford the things you want to afford. You understand? You have to live life. Then greed on the other side keeps you working and longing for more. People today are trapped working for money because of fear and greed. Now, if you can beat these two emotions, emotional intelligence is one of the key ingredients to financial intelligence. Because if you cannot check your emotions, there is a very high probability that you remain poor. So the question is, how do you deal with these emotions? Instead of being emotional, why not be logical? Why not ask yourself the hard questions? Why are you shying away from it? Ask yourself, would this rat race I'm running every day of my life, would it solve my financial problems forever? Or is it in the time being? And some of them are deep in bad debt while working in these companies. Bad debt that they can't even resign. They've taken debt to acquire liabilities. So for these reasons, they have to work all their life there to pay back those debts. The question is simple. Would it solve the problem? Taking a slice of bread and gulping down your coffee every morning, would it solve your financial problems at the end of that race? That's if you ever leave the race. It is a common thing in Lagos where people, once they retire, they go back to their villages. And they pad it with, I just want to rest. Don't they rest in Lagos? Don't they have clubs for the mature? For the advanced? Don't they have beautiful places where you can rest? Don't they have beautiful locations? That even if you want to do farming, because they say, I just want to do farming. If you want to farm in your gardens, you can. Tell the truth. You're poor. After earning 5-10 million per month, you find out at the end of your whole tenure that you're actually poor. So you need to ask the question, would this help me? Would it get me out of this financial mess? Once you have the answers to that, you begin to think, how can I do something different? Everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's going to school to get a job and go to more school to increase your salary and continue like that. How can I do something different? Then the answers will pop up. The rich don't work for money. The rich look around them, look for needs they can serve. And in turn, meet those needs. Get money to get the needs met. And in turn, get paid. Provided you can continue meeting needs, you keep getting paid even after you retire. So your standard of life would never drop. Rather, it increases. Because at every new need you meet, what you do in turn is to increase your means, to expand your means, rather than live within your means. Or live a lie by going in debt, bad debt. So you need to take a step and think, the rich don't work for money. And if you remember, I made a video, the rich are not greedy people. Greed keeps you where you're at. Fear keeps you where you're at. If only you can step back and think, you'll get good answers. And you'll learn how to make money, work very hard for you. And in turn, you print money by making money work for you. And not doing the same thing everybody's doing, running the rat race. Move to the fast lane. Meet needs, serve people, serve people. That is the first step of becoming rich. That is the reason why you need to do anything you're doing. Meet needs, serve people, and in turn, your riches will be secure. Like Robert would always say, it doesn't matter how much you make. What matters is how much you keep, how much remains yours at the end of the day. Thanks for watching this video. If this is your first time here, please like, share, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram at BeTheTrueRich and on Twitter at BeTheTrueRich. Thank you. Bye bye.
No more worries over grocery items. Get your items delivered to your doorstep in 24 hours. Shop now on Spree.Africa.